Great.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What would you be? You don't like fruit.
Oh.
My toes are underneath this dog's body. And
For
I'm worried
for anybody not watching, we decided to attempt this episode with both of the dogs in the room. And Lily
Lily did. I don't know what that was. She just had a couple coughs. Okay, she had a couple coughs in there.
Her and Remy are both laying on the floor, so
Having 2 dogs in this room is the best day of my life.
we're just gonna see how this goes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Squeeze.
Welcome back to the Squeeze.
Welcome back to the Squeeze. You're here with Taylor and Taylor.
And Remy and Lily.
And Remy and Lily. If you're watching on YouTube, Remy has her little shark. Actually, you know who gave this to her? Our last guest.
Our last guest, Lexi.
Yeah, she did.
Lexi is an angel and delivered the sweetest gifts to us and the puppies while we were gone.
And she brought us a lemon tree.
She felt bad because Remy couldn't play with her.
She heard Remy and perked up.
She felt bad because she couldn't play with her hugs.
Oh, yeah. She couldn't play with the hugs with the little the sloth. And...
So she brought Remy her own toys that she could play with.
Yeah.
It was so sweet.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor and I just finished an argument about how I steal his food. So there's that. It's just like the typical, it's always.
But it's not typical.
It's.
I just explained this to you.
It's so typical.
There's typical. There's the cute joke of how
I'm not
in
cute.
A relationship, not when you do it to this extent. In a relationship, obviously there is like the joke of one person always, just wants to steal the other person's food. And even like, the other person's food tastes better, right? It's cute. But just like Tay takes it to a whole other level. We were getting ready to film this and I said, I need 5 seconds because my stomach is eating itself. I am so hungry. Can I just go downstairs quick and heat up some food? And she's like, oh, fine.
Because that's exactly how I sound.
And I do that.
Mind you, the sooner that we are done filming this, the sooner that we can go in the hot tub that's been heating that Taylor is so badly wanting to get into. So I was just trying to be a nice wife and get him in the hot tub sooner. Continue.
Right. And I clarified to her, I can't do this without a little bit of food in my stomach. That's how hungry I am. So I heat up my food and I bring it right back up here. And I'm like, all right, let's get ready to do this. I'm just need a few bites here. And she's setting up and I'm eating my food and I'm so hungry. And she looks over and she's like, what you got there? And I'm like, our leftovers from last night. She's like, is there, can I try some? I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, here. And I give her the plate and she has the plate for, a hot second, has a few bites, hands it back to me. I'm like, thank you. All right. I start scarfing it down so we can start filming and I'm down to my last bite. And she looks at me and goes, oh. And I'm like, yes. And she like gives me these puppy dog eyes. And I know exactly what she is insinuating. And it's that there's not enough left for her to have more of my food. And I'm like, you take this to just another stratosphere.
I just love you so much. I want to share everything with you.
That's not correct. That's not true. That is not why you want to eat all of my food.
Yeah, I want to be.
You weren't even hungry.
One with you. Yeah, but then
when I said I need to go downstairs quick because I am dying, if you were hungry, you would have said, hey, can you bring me up some too? You weren't even hungry. But you wanted to, I gave you time with my food. Then you waited till I had one bite left. And you were like, oh, what happened?
I was reminded of how good our leftovers were with that bite. So
anyways, this is what's causing us friction in
clearly
our
we need
relationship.
To bring it to a therapist.
Right at the moment. And I'm getting over it. I'm trying. I'm really sorry I didn't leave the last bite for you.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Next time I'll learn my lesson.
The next time, just like put a couple bites on there for me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a fun guest today. Anna.
TikTok queen.
TikTok
Starbies.
Starbies. Yes. I feel like people probably know her by Starbies than
Yeah.
more so than Anna, but um, we had so much fun with her. I felt so inspired after our time with her. Obviously, she showed us like how to use TikTok and stuff because Taylor's not on it. I'm new to it. And Anna is just like the queen of transitions and
That is true.
doing all the things and making all the stuff look good.
We filmed a TikTok for it, and my mind was blown with this girl's like eye and vision of things. I'm like, holy crap, you need to be like directing
Yeah,
something.
well, I mean, we learned that she has a master's in TV and film production.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. She did post something I wanted to share though that I thought was like really insightful because obviously like with her social media, she's really good at just like keeping it fun and lighthearted and like positive, and
Yeah.
she's just herself all the time. And it's just like she's a very positive, uplifting person to follow.
A great account to follow.
Yeah.
We
If you don't,
highly suggest.
we'll have it linked down below. But she posted this thing that was like a little of her just like kind of having a moment. And I wanted to read it on the video. It's just kind of her like taking a moment in a hotel room, just having a little cry moment. But she's like, it's okay to be exactly where you are, where you want to be, but still feel lost. It's okay to have the best day of your life and still feel sad. It's okay to be in a room full of people and still feel alone. It's okay to feel. And then in her caption, she writes often, I feel guilty for not feeling like myself or feeling sadness in times that are supposed to be so full of life and happiness, but emotions have depth and you're allowed to feel confused and out of control and sad. Everything will be okay, I promise. But I love that she posted that because I totally relate to it, because sometimes when we're like doing these things that are so fun and like riding the wave of like the highest thing, but sometimes I'm like, I still like, I don't like feel happy right now. Like I've definitely experienced that before, but it was just like a very honest thing that she shared that a lot of people I feel like can relate to, or even when stuff is going good, but you still feel sad or you're feeling depressed or whatever. And then you just end up feeling guilty. Like I shouldn't be feeling this way. Like I have a great life. I'm so blessed, but I'm still feeling sad right now.
Yeah. It's all part of the journey, and yeah, it's all part of the roller coaster of life, and it's normal.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes to show that you could be doing the coolest quote like things, living quote the most insane life, and like that's not what brings true like ultimate happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good reality check.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but we loved our time with Anna.
We did.
We did. We left our conversation with her, and you did look me in the eye and say, I want to like spend time with more people like her.
Yeah.
Like she just inspired me. Remember you telling me that?
Yeah, she's definitely someone like you just like want to be around. She left and I was like, wait, can we keep hanging out? Like it was just like one of those people that is like on fire about like what they do and just like absolutely loves life.
Yeah. Surround yourself with Annas.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation. And I think you will get why after you take a listen to this.
Yes. And as always, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video. That always helps with, of course, the podcast and our algorithm and all that fun stuff. And leave us your Cit-rus Got Real answer in the comments below, because I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Guess you'll just have to wait to hear the question.
Yeah. Here we go.
Woohoo. Hello, Anna. Thank you so much for joining us at this squeeze.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here, you guys. Your voices sound so nice in these microphones.
Oh my
so
gosh.
does yours.
Yeah. Stop. I feel like, does anybody feel like their voice changes as they like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I start and I feel like I'm like, yeah. And then by the end I'm like, it's been a great day.
That's what I do. I feel like I start talking lower and like kind of, I don't know what this is. I kind of sound like that.
Oh,
you're gonna laugh.
Oh God.
You know that Miley thing going around.
Where they bring it down and she's Morgan Wallen or something, or like, have you ever seen
No,
that?
but I have seen that.
That is nuts. I don't know how that works, but I want to know.
I have seen that. But the one she was talking in this interview and she sounds like this.
It's like
And-
really, yeah.
And
her
they
voice.
put like the little clip of her talking and then something right after it'll like cut to like a bag being zipped up because she sounds like a zipper when she talks, or a French bulldog that like makes a noise that's like, yeah. Anyways, I feel like I start to do that when I hear
Yeah.
myself too much.
I feel like my face gets relaxed. I stop smiling and I'm like, yeah, this is what I sound like normally.
yeah.
I love that. Okay, before we get started, two things. One, do you see a record on that camera?
There's a red thing in
Okay,
the top
great,
right
perfect.
corner.
Second, I was just making sure because I can't see that. I just want to make sure we had our camera.
These 30-year-old eyes. I got
Second of
you.
all, oh, I thought you were calling me 30. I was like, bro,
I
I
did
am
too
not
for a
the one
second.
that's
I was like,
30.
Oh
we
no.
were the same age. Didn't we just go over this?
I was like, wait, how old am I?
No, I'm
Like, did I just turn 30 last week and I didn't even know it?
Second of all,
Ooh.
we couldn't do this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Without
baby.
your sponsors.
Yes.
Another day, another Starbies.
Another day. What are we drinking here?
Yeah.
Is this the pink drink? I think we're drinking grande pink drinks with vanilla sweet cream cold foam. They've been sitting in the California heat for a little bit, so they're a little separated, but they're just as divine.
It is really good. This is my first time, actually, I think, ever having a pink drink.
I thought
Be
we had a
this foam.
pink drink once, and it didn't taste like this.
Well, I think
No?
I think it tastes this good because of the cream on it.
The vanilla sweet cream cold foam changes the game.
Oh, so you added something
Mhm.
special
Just
to
like
it.
the little, there's like a little foam that they like blend up to make fluffy, and then
Okay.
they pour it on top.
Okay.
Chef's kiss.
That's the cherry or strawberry on top.
Yeah,
So-
strawberry on top
Mhm.
for this. But we start each episode with our little jar, a little segment called Cit-rus Got Real. If you would like to pull a piece of paper out of there,
I love games.
They're very super intense questions.
You guys, this question is way too accurate to what we literally just talked about.
What?
If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be?
Okay. Okay.
I would be a strawberry.
You would be a strawberry?
I think so. I have a strawberry purse.
That's true, you do.
You know, literally over here in the corner, I have a strawberry bag.
Vintage.
Yeah, it is vintage little coach moment. I think I only say that because it's my favorite fruit, but not because I actually have a reason.
great.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What would you be? You don't like fruit.
Oh.
My toes are underneath this dog's body. And
For
I'm worried
anybody, for anybody not watching, we decided to attempt this episode with both of the dogs in the room. And Lily
Lily did. I don't know what that was.
she just had a couple coughs. Okay, she had a couple coughs in there.
Her and Remy are both laying on the floor, so
Having two dogs in this room is the best day of my life.
we're just gonna see how this goes.
I would be a kiwi.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a reason why you'd be a kiwi?
Once again, I think just because it's my favorite fruit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to make like a metaphor of like the texture of a kiwi on the outside versus the inside, but
Mm.
Ooh.
you're not like rough on the outside.
My
Fuzzy
s-
on the
my-
outside and
Yeah.
My skin has been dry lately.
Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely not that. What
What would you be?
my initial thought was to say blueberry, but
Mm.
Those are cute.
'cause I enjoy. But yeah, but they're also like just round. When I think of blueberries, I think of what's her name? In Willy Wonka? Is
I
it
literally thought
Veronica
the
or
exact
something?
same thing.
When she blows up into a blueberry.
Like she gets like the blue on her nose, right?
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
And then it goes everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm gonna go with a cute little blueberry. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks
There we
to
go.
my husband. They're cute little blueberryness. Anyways,
Great question.
I love starting
That's a
the
great
shows with
question.
these.
Should we do one more of those?
Okay, great.
Say less. Are you guys picking one?
Ooh, yeah, go babe.
Okay.
We never do this.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Oh. First ever.
The first double Cit-rus Got Real. Okay, here we go. You must have made this question because you have this answer. You tell me every other day. What song do you want played at your funeral? Do you have this answer too?
No, absolutely not. That's just, I have
It's
this
such a-
really bad memory about like song lyrics and names. I'm great with faces. I can remember a beat from anywhere.
Yeah.
But like the actual physical names of anything, cities, streets, and no, it's a no for me. So
you're like, I can't even name a song.
I literally, you want to the first one that came to mind? Call Your Girlfriend by Robin. Why? Don't ask.
Good song.
You know, like catchy. Like I want everybody dancing to that at my funeral, but I don't know that it's like the one that I need to have in there.
Yeah. I don't know either. So why don't you go with yours?
Yeah. Mine is I want my like casket walked down to Fergalicious.
Period. Okay. A major slay.
Yeah, I've said that. It's just
You
like
have.
like a nice little like hot pink, maybe like some rhinestones on there.
Okay.
My little casket.
Okay. She's going down in style.
Yeah. She's gone out with a bang.
Oh my. Maybe we'll see. Well, hopefully that. Never mind. I don't like this question. Let's move on.
Oh my gosh. Are you like comfortable in jeans on this couch?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
Why?
really? I don't know.
Are you comfortable in your sweats?
Obviously.
I mean, they're comfortable jeans.
And shoes?
Yeah.
This is just Taylor and I are very opposite of clothing that we've worn on the podcast because Taylor is always fashionista.
I don't know if I would call this look fashionista.
You are.
I'm
You're
wearing
in
black
jeans, shoes,
sneakers,
a cool vintage shirt.
Literally just
I'm just always
a
in
baggy
comfies.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, this is one of my more relaxed looks.
Yeah, this is true. You don't really have like a deep cut little V.
But we both do value comfort.
Yeah.
You are just the queen of comfort.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the queen, I would say, of being cozy.
Yeah.
Which leads me to talk about a company that I love because I get to be cozy.
Our favorite.
But I also get to be cute.
Cozy and cute.
In their loungewear. Yeah.
Sign me up.
What I thought. Cozy Earth has, you guys have heard us talk about it before, but
we're big Cozy Earth fans.
We're big Cozy Earth fans. They have amazing sheets, amazing bedding, but they also have a loungewear that is so cute and stylish. I've honestly been wearing it the past few nights as my pajamas. I have a couple different colors.
Yeah, she never takes it off. But imagine like the coziest, softest sheet and like pillowcase that is just like butter. I think do they use bamboo?
Yeah.
Imagine the heavenly feeling of that. And now they use that same material in their clothes.
Yeah.
And they have the cutest pajamas and clothes. They have joggers and hoodies that I wear. And it's really killing two birds with one stone. Because you're looking cute and feeling even cuter and cozier.
Yeah. Look cute and feel cute. Comfy cute is my go-to with that.
Yeah.
But Cozy Earth has provided us an exclusive offer for all of you listening today, up to 35% off site-wide, which is a great. I still need to use it actually.
Well, let's get using it.
I know we need to. The code, maybe I should say the code. The code is the squeeze. Again, 35% off with code the squeeze.
Wow.
So scroll down, click that Cozy Earth link, and go check out their website because you will not be disappointed.
All right. I need to get off this couch because I need to go use that code.
Oh, no, I got it right here.
Cozy Earth! The squeeze!
Okay, well, first of all, I would love to kind of just start with thanking you for the content that you make. Feel like we talk about, social media a lot on here and like the pros and the cons. And I feel like it's, a big reason of why there's such mental health struggles today and there's so much comparison and blah, blah, blah. But I just love that, like through and through all of your content, you're just like you. And it shows. I mean, I'm literally just meeting you here for the first time, but obviously like I follow you on TikTok. So like I know like what you post and it, like I feel like I've known you because you are just yourself, which I feel like.
And it's just good, positive.
Yeah.
Like we talk all the time about, being careful about, who you're following, what you're following, what you're scrolling and seeing every day, because that, whether you notice it or not, it's going to have an effect on you. And I think we need more people like you out there that make that kind of content that is positive, uplifting, and is the good kind of content for us.
Wow, guys, thank you. You guys are so sweet for saying that. Thanks for saying that. That's so nice.
How long have you been doing this? Like what
Where does it start? Yeah. Exactly. I feel like that's like the biggest confusion, even for me sometimes, is I downloaded TikTok in 2019 spontaneously. Like I think with everybody else, I went to a party for grad school and one of the girls was like, everyone needs to download this app. It's so cool. It's on the rise. It's so fun. And I was getting my master's in film and television production. So I was like, you know what? An opportunity to do storytelling, to work on like some creativity, to kind of just get my thoughts out there, keep like a little keepsake. And I love video making. So I downloaded the app and started just doing like 1 to 2 videos a night for fun. And then just like kept making them. And I think I made videos for like 6 months before like anything took off or like had any success. I was getting like 10 views a video and I was loving it. I was eating it up. And then kind of at the start of like the end of the year a little bit, like a couple videos had gone viral. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have 10K. I'm hitting it big, you guys. I'm the talk of the town. I'm in LA. I'm a girly now. And then when COVID hit, that kind of like is I think what skyrocketed a lot of creators' careers is everybody got TikTok. And then if you were kind of like an OG, like one of the original people like making stuff, for some reason the app just like loved you and promoted you and you made it on the For You page. And so it was everything. I was making anything that came to mind, from get ready videos to story times to relationship goals to like documenting. At the time I was in a long distance relationship, everything under the sun. I was just kind of filming and capturing and sharing and getting like the chance to like just relate to people. And in a lot of ways it was like my way to be expressive. So that's really what it was when it started for me.
Jeez. It's crazy that it's been that like short period of time.
I know. It's unbelievable. Like even I think like the year 2020 started and I think I had like 50K on TikTok and I was like, I was in disbelief. Like, it's like a weird thing where the numbers like hit a point where you're like, oh my gosh, if you think about it, that's like a stadium of people. Like that's so many people who see your stuff. But by the end of the year, I think I was around like 7 or 8 million on the app only within the year of 2020. And so then my body was like, what do I do? And like we're all stuck at home. You don't see, like you're not going out on a daily basis. You're not really seeing anybody either. So like I'd just be at home and like I'd bump into people at Target and they're like, I love your stuff. And I'm like, that is so cool. Literally.
Oh my gosh.
Who, me? No way.
Have you had to like adjust to that of like, have you found it hard keeping things like private versus public now that you're
love oversharing? No,
I love oversharing.
That's great.
No, but there is for sure. I like will remember, especially during like a time in my life when I was freshly single and I knew that like, you're kind of in like that dating era. I like had to talk with my parents about like, we can't talk about anybody or like any like brand deals or boys in public, like just in case somebody's like over listening. I just like wanted to keep that really private while I was in that healing phase of my life and just like want to make sure that I was taking care of myself and wasn't oversharing. That's so complicated and so complex to share that I just want to make sure I was like, keeping that from me. And my mom, my dad were all living together during COVID. So I was kind of like, okay, guys, this is like, we're at this stage now where we really can't talk about any of this stuff in public anymore. But I feel like I can be pretty vulnerable on the internet, which is really nice. Like it gives me the chance where my community is the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Like I feel like
That's
go
because
out.
you attract them.
Thanks. But in the same way, like I think you're so sweet for me to be like, oh, I watch your videos. I always think of that it's like the nicest people who watch my content and like are supportive and are so sweet. Like even when I go out, the girls are always so gentle and like my community is like 97% women. So it's normally gals for the most part. It's a couple of guys here and there, but they're always so nice. And they just like, I honestly feel like we're already best friends. It's great because they like know what I've been doing or what I've been up to. And then I get to hear about their life and what they've been up to. So, in some ways, like I feel like I kept a few things private, but everything kind of comes to surface eventually. I think it's just like all with like healthy timing.
Yeah. That's so true. I relate to that because recently, I mean, obviously, there's people that go to Taylor all the time and that's like just a very normal thing for us. But recently we've had people literally come up to us and be like, sometimes not even acknowledge Taylor, which is hysterical to me. They'll be like, I watched the podcast. And I'm like, oh my gosh, come here.
That's like the biggest compliment. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Twilight, it happened. Shark Boy, yeah. I've heard it. But like when people say that they listen to the podcast, our hearts explode.
Yeah.
Oh
We were
my
literally
gosh.
at a concert and we were like it was at the YouTube theater?
Oh, in LA.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
At
yes.
SoFi, and they have like the little, what are they called? Like the boxes, but it's not a box. It's like,
it's like the little like suite kind of
suite,
areas.
yeah. And we were like right by a walkway, and Taylor was right by it, and it was me. And these girls like reached over, and they were like tapping, and they were like, "We love the podcast." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
You're like,
this
these
is so
are the
sweet."
homies right now. I
Yeah.
was like, these are our people.
But it's
I
just
love
like
that.
it feels so like tender when someone like, like this is obviously like a very vulnerable like space for us and your
Yeah.
space as well. So when someone like says that, they're a fan and they love it, it's just like makes it so much more sweet.
It does. And it's so nice to like see, like I love seeing the faces of the people who are on the other side of the phone.
For
Like it's
sure.
kind of a bummer where I feel like I don't get that opportunity as much. And so like when I literally get to like wrap my arms around somebody and be like, oh my gosh, my friends, I love it. It just like it makes it worth it every time.
Yeah. But on the note of vulnerability, I absolutely love, I think it's probably one of my favorite things that you do is just like showing your skin when you're breaking out or just like you're just naturally yourself, because I find myself, I try to, just, be myself, whatever. But when I'm following people, always I'm like, their skin is so
Okay,
nice.
your skin is so good, Miss Girl. From over here, I'm like, literally, you're glowing.
The mic is hiding a huge mound I have on my chin, and Taylor's laughing that hard because he knows it's there.
You're like, you'll never guess what came up today. Yeah, you get to hear it.
But I always find myself like comparing my skin to other, like
Me
that's
too.
like something that I always look at is skin. So when I come across creators that are like, hey, it's normal, I have acne, it's normal. I think that's so important because I try not to compare myself, and we're very much in a comparison era.
Yeah.
So I love that.
I even feel like the comparison to ourselves. Like I didn't struggle with acne. It's so weird. Like my skin journey has been wild. Like it's kind of that weird thing where when you don't notice it until you look back at it.
Yes.
Like I didn't know I had acne in college until I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, I had that much acne in college.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then I used Curology, cleared all of it. Like I had flawless skin for the last 2 years. I've like can't even tell you the last time I had a pimple. And then suddenly like that mid-20s era hit and it was like, you know what? You could use a little acne. And like now I'm trying to, like I'm using tretinoin right now, like trying something kind of new, which is always stressful because you're like gonna get the worst breakouts. But I also love like TikTok. To me feels like one of those apps that you can really just kind of be yourself and it doesn't have to be so cookie cutter. Like Instagram feels so much pressure to have a pretty feed and nice photos and good photography. And if your camera's not professional, it's not a good picture. And like TikTok, it's an iPhone for the most part, unless like I go nuts and I film it on a professional camera. But for the most part, it's nice to be able to just kind of take that barrier down and really show the more organic version of yourself.
Yeah, I feel that so much. I mean, I downloaded TikTok in 2020 because we were all home. Making content on that for me is like so much like more fun. Like I just feel like it's very like in a way like similar to Snapchat, but not really. I use Snapchat in high school. I don't use it, but it's just like very like stripped down normal. Like I don't need like the nice feed.
You got a great feed.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Best compliment I've ever given you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
So I can only imagine because I try to be somewhat active on social media because, these days that's important. But I'm not very good at it. And even the small amount that I try, it really can affect me mentally, emotionally. And for somebody like you that, it's like, it's your job, like in the amount that you have to film, create, be on your phone. I just can only imagine like the dangers of how that could affect you mentally or emotionally. Is it important for you to establish any sort of boundaries or a balance? Or is it important for you to check out at times? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad relationship with social media, but when I was first starting, like once I started kind of having growth on the app, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is an opportunity that I cannot miss. And I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of people's mentality when anything is taking place.
Yep.
Yeah.
That when I first started, like I'm talking 2020,
Yeah.
I made videos 5 to 8 a day, every single day, no days off, no weekends off. Did not miss a posting day for 2 years straight.
Wow.
And like that amounts to like so many videos. But in my brain, I was like, I have this momentum, and if I stop, like I will fail. And I don't know like what part of my brain was convinced of that, but I just was so sure that I was like, okay, you cannot take days off. You have to like, even I was a full-time grad student when I first started social media, and I finished my master's. So I like had a 3-year program. So it was right at kind of the beginning of my master's program. So through the whole eternity of being in grad school, I was doing full-time student and then creating, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Wow.
videos on for TikTok. And it was anything from minute-long videos to get ready with me's to like ones that took 2 hours to film, ones that took 5 minutes to film. So
Yeah.
when I was first starting, I don't really know how I did it, but I didn't get burned out and I felt great until I finished school. And then it kind of like caught up with me because I think that my brain was treating school like it was my work, where it was like, this is when I'm putting my energy and my social media is my escape.
Yeah.
And then once school went away and it became my full-time career, I was like, this is a lot of things to be like, there's a lot of videos and like, it's a lot of creative juice. And I think because I was in school and I was around people all the time and like going to class and I was having all these experiences that I could pull inspiration from, it gave me fresh ideas. It like gave me something to do every day. Once you kind of back off from that and realize like my career was the content creation, I was kind of like, okay, what's my purpose though? Like what am I hoping to achieve with what I'm making? And that's like the first time that I took my first like 1 week off of posting videos. And don't get me wrong, I was still capturing content the whole time because I love making videos. Like I love the videography and the like picking up a moment and doing photo shoots and like testing out new cameras. So I like went on a family vacation and I kind of told my family, like, guys, this is my first vacation. I'm not posting. Like we're not even going to talk about what's going on the internet. We're just going to like experience this. And it was so nice. But then it kind of has that back and forth a little bit where you're as a creator, like you have this mentality that's like, if I'm not creating, I'm falling behind everybody else in a very comparative mindset. And if you like take a break, you're slacking. Yeah. Even if you need it, it's like, well, everybody else is still posting and I'm the one that's not. So, and you see it from such a pinpoint perspective that it, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not the end of the world. And like those 2 days off aren't going to ruin your career, your trajectory. Yeah. And I think that can be translated not only from a social media perspective, but in any career. In school, if you're like, oh my gosh, I did one bad test, I'm literally a failure, I'm going to have to drop out. Like I'm never going to make it. Yeah. Or, in your career, maybe you didn't get the bonus that you thought you were going to get or like the raise that you thought you were going to get. It's like nothing is linear in any sense. So like by continually creating, you're not really specifically building this path of like a linear success or, any of that. It's really just about what feels good to you. And I think that I've come to acceptance with that more lately. Don't get me wrong, I still struggle all the time with it, but just accepting that like making what you love is what is good. And like making what you feel healthy making and not putting on a facade or like every day has to be the busiest day of your life. Yeah. I think that's really valuable.
Yeah. I think that would be the most draining part is if you're not being yourself.
Yeah. And that's why I think like TikTok gives the chance to be so vulnerable. Like it's using social media, I feel like my relationship with it, I'm like so thankful for because it gave me this newfound empowerment and this newfound confidence. Like for the first time in my life, I'm making videos and like, you kind of get this great feedback. People are like, I relate to this and I love this. And it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, like all these experiences that I have, like I'm not alone in them. Like other people are having them too. And like, this is such a cool way to bring people together.
Yeah. What you said about like, normally Taylor is the one that does the relating to the guests always. I just had an aha moment, which I don't think I've had yet. When you were saying, like while you were still in school, like creating was kind of like your like release, whatever.
It's a fun gig. Yeah.
When you were done with school, that was like what you were doing. You're like, what the heck is my purpose? What am I doing? I think I have struggled with that same thing. Like I was in nursing school. I started doing like content when I was in nursing school, and then I worked as a nurse, and then leaving, I've kind of just been like, what am I doing? Because content was always like my fun, like, oh, I have a day off. Ooh, I want to film something. Like it was like my fun.
It's your escape. It's like your little keepsake. But when it becomes your career, I mean, it is the most incredible career. I don't want that, like, anybody to think that I'm not saying it's not. I have the luckiest job on the planet because I get to do what I love every single day and like connect with a community of people who I absolutely adore. But there are for sure times where I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, there's not a single thought in my brain.
Yeah.
And I know that like it's my job though to have a thought in my brain and to like make something out of it and to like cultivate something with this and make it creative. And you kind of, it's easy to get hard on yourself with that mentality, but in the same way, it's like the greatest blessing to be able to have a job. Like I've worked the more corporate side where I was like, man, I wish I could be creative. Like I was like, oh, I wish I could do something that was different. So, with everything, the grass always feels like it's greener, which I think social media is amazing. Like it's such a cool job and a cool experience, but there's times where it's just like, it's really it's never like physically taxing, but it's really mentally taxing as a creator.
Yeah.
What's like the biggest thing that helps you like prevent like that burnout and to like just keep you like motivated?
I think remembering it doesn't all, like your best ideas aren't going to come from scrolling on the internet. Like living your life and having experiences to base these new ideas off of.
Yeah.
I feel like I felt this new creative wave today. It was so cute. My mom was with me all day today because we had a little event we went to this morning and we did like get ready videos. And I remember like, I cannot tell you the last time I like jumped out of bed to make a video like this, but I was like, okay, Mom, I want to do a little get ready with me. We have to do the transition video. We have to film the before, film the after. Like I had all these ideas.
Stop.
And it's just like the fact that I had something that I was so excited to get to share with my mom and get to capture. And we walked around, took so many photos together. And it's just like having life experiences and doing things keeps me from getting burnout. So like traveling, normally exhausting. I love traveling. It's like my way to get a new refresh. I get a new backdrop. I get a new style. I'm going to see like what the world looks like through a different lens. And I feel like that just like empowers my little like creative like
I love
spark.
that.
Where
That's
have
so
you been
cool.
to recently that you've loved?
Oh, I just came back from Paris a little bit ago and I've like been there only a couple of times, but I love it every time. I don't know why. Like
Really?
I would move there. That's like one of those cities where I'm like, oh, I just love that every city and like every street feels like a cinematic experience. So
that's good to hear. Because people with Paris, I don't.
It's so
my
hit or
thing
miss.
with Paris, it's hit or miss. People either love it or just are like, it's overrated.
Yeah.
And I have never been able to go for fun. I've only been a few times for work, and it's been on like a press tour, so I'm in and out in 24 hours or less, and have never been able to like explore. So I don't know Paris very well, and we've been wanting to go, and the reviews have been so this or that.
If you need good hotels, I have good ones. I feel like I have I have the most lucky experience with this that I get invited like the fashion weeks to like create content for brands. So like I went with like Dior and Louis Vuitton. I'm going to throw up saying that. But like those two brands were like, hey, come to our fashion show and like enjoy. Like whatever this brings to you, make something out of it. And I was like, this is nuts. Because then I feel like I go and I'm like, my eyes are like just thinking of what like the movie would look like if I were to make a movie out of what's happening. Because that's like what the job is. Like I get to pretty much make this experience and open the door. Anna 3 years ago would have lost her marbles. Like me in the Midwest, like seeing other creators or seeing like these huge names go to like Paris Fashion Week and just being like, wow, can you imagine experiencing that? And now the fact that I get to be the person who opens up like those curtains and be like, this is the behind the scenes. I feel like those experiences though make it feel like a fantasy, make it feel like a movie when you go to those because you kind of get that like it's during the fashion week, like the streets are filled with people who are dressed like it's high fashion and like there's one event after another and it's like all dinners and you kind of get this like really bougie treatment that I really don't deserve, but like I love it and I'm like, please just one more. Just
I'm
one more
here
time.
for it.
I know. I'm like, listen, I will make as many videos as you want. This is so nice.
What is life?
I know, but it's like one of those shocking things where I would have never thought that was a career option even. And then the fact that I get to like share that with my community, that this is something that blows my mind. And like, I didn't know. I always wonder what those experiences look like. And now the fact that I get to like see them firsthand, I feel like it like romanticizes the experience though of Paris for me too, by having that kind of like luxurious tie into it.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely take you up on
any recommendations.
Yeah.
I got all the good ones.
Okay.
All the goodies. Last thing on just on social media, what advice do you have for our listeners, viewers, just on like blocking out either viewing negative content or blocking out like haters in the comments. Like how do you block that out? And I guess what advice would you have in doing that?
I feel like it's some of the best advice that I learned, which like I feel like I have to debrief what this advice sounds like because it sounds aggressive, but my mom used to tell it to me, and it has stuck with me. And my mom, if anybody knows Madka, we love her dearly. English is not her first language though, so it's like an interesting translation. But she always used to tell me when I would get really down about like, you know, there's going to be trolls on the internet. You know, there's going to be people who are trying to like bring down the energy, or even like it's so frustrating to me because I feel like sometimes things like are so taken out of context or so twisted to seem like unintentional, when like I have always just wanted my page to be like such a light on the internet. And so my mom used to always tell me though, when I'll get a little bit bummed out and be like, what am I gonna do, like this person said this or somebody thinks this about me, my mom would always tell me, don't you spend your time trying to drown others when you could just swim faster. And listen, we're not drowning anybody, okay, we're starting there. But I think her intention with that is like, don't use your energy to be like looking in your rearview mirror. Like other people are going to be like trying to bring down your light and bring down your energy. And instead of focusing on that negativity or going back and, you know, fighting with keyboard warriors or like getting frustrated about those little things, you have so much ocean ahead of you. You have so much potential ahead of you. You have so much farther you can go by just focusing your energy on the positive and everything. And I feel like that's what I like hope is like the lesson people learn from even any of my content is like, there's good and there's opportunity in everything, even in negativity. Like someone who's leaving you a not nice comment is really just not feeling good that day. Yeah. Even if that's not true, I'm believing that. Like I'm believing they're having a bad day and they didn't mean it. Yeah. And like, it's not about like looking at those comments and oh my gosh, I'm so guilty of letting it get to me and letting it affect the way that I even see my own content. Or it's so funny. You can ask, I think, any creator on TikTok, what are the negative comments going to be on this video before you post it? And I can name them before I post a video, even if the video has nothing to do with anything except for how I did my makeup. Yeah. Like I already know what everyone's going to, like what people would say, even if the video is like an upbeat, happy, get ready song. Like, and I think most creators know, but it's the fact of, you just have to accept that like you are putting into the world what you love, and the energy you put out is the energy you're going to get back. Yeah. Even if it has to kind of like school wiggle through some of those like more negative sides, but you're better off to just continually make what you love and just like manifest the happiness for everybody around you as well.
That's a great advice.
Yeah.
I know. It comes off a little spicy. So I'm always like, listen, we're going to debrief this. We're not drowning anyone. She meant like, you know, don't fight people when you could just walk away.
Exactly.
Kinda, you know?
Yeah. I love that. You mentioned it earlier, but you have your master's in TV and film production. Yeah. What do you like in the future? You're already absolutely crushing what you do, but
thank you.
Is there more that you want to do that, you know, you have this master's degree and clearly you're passionate about it. Clearly, you know, some stuff.
I love it all. I love traditional media. I like always thought, you know, with getting my master's, I wasn't even on TikTok yet when I was first starting. So I did a focus in writing and directing. I love rom-coms. I would love to write a rom-com.
Dang, you should.
The world is missing it. The issue is,
I know an actor if you need one.
Okay, slay. Because you know what? We'll put him in part 1. Okay, we're ready to go. So I like always was behind the camera, even when I was a kid. Like my family vacations, I would film and make these little short movies out of and like put music montages to them and like add text and everything from like Vegas before Premiere Pro was like acceptable for, you know, a 10-year-old. But then it's kind of a funny thing where I always loved being behind the camera, and more recently now because on social media I kind of, you know, had to take like that front of camera role. I love new passions. I've picked up acting. I was like, why not? Might as well take a couple classes and like learn all of the ropes of the film industry.
Oh, nice.
But I love the writing and directing, and I'd love to write a film, a TV show, a rom-com, like something feel good, happy. A lot of my films in grad school were really, really sad. I don't know why. I'm not a sad person either, but all of them were so sad. They were all about like heartbreak.
Okay.
You know,
you were going through it.
I was like going through it at like 22 apparently. Like it seemed like something like a high schooler would write, like a teenager, like he didn't look back at me in chemistry. I was just angsty. Fighting all the anxiety. I was so angsty, like fighting all those memories. Like, oh, he slammed his locker harder than normal. It's me. So,
Oh my gosh.
but yeah,
That's
so like
great.
I would love to write a little like happy feel good movie.
Yeah,
I love
it.
that stuff. Little comedy moment.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That's great. Well, perfect. Shall we head into our lemon 11?
Lemon 11 time.
Love it. You want to kick us off, sir? That's my ASMR drum roll.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, Lemon 11. First question. What movie or song title best describes your mental health today?
You know, I talked about that song titles thing.
Yeah, right?
We're going with Pocket Full of Sunshine. Natasha Bedingfield. Is it Natasha
Great.
Bedingfield?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
slay.
Look at you.
She got
Great.
two
Crushed
names
that
in
one.
right?
So proud of you.
It was so sunny today. I feel like the only emotional response would be like, I gotta pick up a sunshine.
Wow. What a good song.
Whoa.
What a happy
I need
song.
to
Bringing it
listen
back
to
for
that.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instantly added to the Spotify playlist.
Yeah. We're playing that after this episode.
absolutely. That's great.
Number 2 is how open are you with the people in your life when you're struggling?
Toxically open. No, I do. I love oversharing with the internet, and I'm so lucky that I have like family members and like siblings, my partner, like so many people that I can turn to and call about whether it's the fact that I'm upset that the cream cheese bottle didn't open, or like that I'm really having a bad day and like that I'm struggling or I'm in a rut and I'm not feeling like myself. And I think mental health is so important to be able to like share with people who are like in your life and offer that sense of comfort. Sometimes it's hard to share with people because like I always see the videos where people, do you want advice or do you want support or something, like where you can pick the two. And sometimes you have a lot of people in your life who are going to give you advice. Like, oh, I don't feel good today. Like, you know, my brain, I'm just like really fighting this battle with myself about maybe like how I look or how I feel. And they're like, oh, just like go for a walk and you'll feel better. And you're like, okay, this did not help me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't feel good after that. But I'm lucky that I have my mom to lean on. I have my boyfriend to lean on. My sister's probably the first person I call with anything.
Aww.
And yeah, I'm like really lucky that I can be really vulnerable with my family and with my community about even when I'm having a bad day. And for the most part, they're there to support me too and like uplift me, make me feel like, you know, they kind of know where I've been, or maybe they're feeling it too and we're in it together, which is nice.
Wow.
I love that.
That's
so
really
sweet.
helpful for sure. Okay, number 3. What is your favorite part of your morning or night routine?
Spending it with someone I love. That's it. I feel like I spend every night and every morning with my boyfriend. So it's just like nice to have somebody to wake up to. I'm sure you guys like feel that, like having, you know, like,
For sure.
you know,
Yeah,
your partner with you all the time.
That's sweet.
Oh, that's such a sweet answer.
Yeah, it is.
Number 4 is how has your career impacted your well-being?
It's made it really, I'm really lucky that I feel like it's had a really positive impact.
Yeah.
I feel like it's given me this like newfound confidence and this newfound empowerment. Like knowing that I'm uplifting other people makes me feel so good. And it's given me the chance to be so like self-expressive, and social media is such a blessing for being able to be a place where we can be ourselves and share our art or share who we are as an individual. And so it's been good for my well-being. I like that it's been a place that I can feel more like myself and just like come into acceptance with myself more and more.
Yeah.
And that's like been great to share with people and feel like people support that as well. And I feel, you know, just more alive and less alone.
I love that.
That's amazing. Okay, number 5. What is the most misunderstood thing about you?
I have a good answer for this. I feel
Okay.
like it's not only me, it's like literally our generation as a whole. Like
Yeah.
for anybody our age, I feel like society convinces us that we have to be one thing. And like you either are like you either like get your degree and like that is your one job and that's like who you're supposed to be. And I feel like I remember thinking that when I was in engineering. Like I have my undergrad degree in mechanical engineering.
Oh, wow.
And like I feel like I remember people being like, okay, so you're going to get your degree in engineering and all of your passions are going to be about the engineering role, and then all of your internships are going to be engineering internships, and every job you're going to have from here on out is going to be engineering. And like you kind of, even on social media, everybody talks about what their niche is, like the one thing that you're going to be. You do
That's
not
so
have
true.
to be one thing in life.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever do you have to be one thing. I live by the fact that you can have as many passions as you want. You can be a creator and an engineer. You can be into fashion and into cars. You can be into, you know, going to school and also like running away and living on the beach. Like you can be into as many things as you want. And there's no limit for like how many passions you're allowed to accumulate. My jobs when I was in grad school was I was a substitute teacher, a fitness instructor, and I worked as a like engineering analyst where I like wrote the documentation for like engineering papers.
Wow.
Those are my 3 jobs when I was in college. Like the most random scale of
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
but you know what? I always thought being a teacher would be fun. got my substitute teaching license and I substitute taught for like elementary school.
Wow.
So fun. Like on Fridays, like I would have like a full day. I think you get paid like $100 to come in for the day.
Oh my gosh.
I was balling. It was great.
Oh man. That, I mean, honestly,
it was so
that
fun.
advice is very, very good.
And I think our like everyone believes they just have
That's
to
so true.
You do one thing.
I mean,
like,
I relate to that so much. Even just on like my page with like lemons with this, like everyone's always like, what is your niche? Like, what are you doing?
You
That's
need to be
like
known for something. Like,
you're like, well, what if I like want to be known for this, but I also am this? Like, I also identify as this, but I'm also this.
Yeah.
That's so true. Number 6 is, what is the greatest advice you've ever received?
Oh, my mama's advice.
We'll rewind to that.
We'll rewind. My mom used to always tell me, though, when I would get a little bit bummed out and be like, what am I going to do? Like, this person said this or somebody thinks this about me. My mom would always tell me, don't you spend your time trying to drown others when you could just swim faster. And listen, we're not drowning anybody. Okay, we're starting there. But what I think her intention with that is like, don't use your energy to be like looking in your rearview mirror.
Okay. Moving on from that wonderful advice. Number 7, what does wellness mean to you?
Probably means like balance, I think. Because I think like a big part of wellness is having like both mental and physical and having like the balance of the two. You can't be like working out at the gym but not taking care of your mental health. And vice versa. I think it's like it's really healthy to be able to like take care of your body and take care of your mind and like drink your water and like put good things into your system because that benefits your mind as well.
Yeah.
So I think balance is the biggest thing when it comes to wellness and, you know, just making sure that you're checking in with yourself on multiple different levels.
Yeah. Yeah. Balance is good.
Balance is very good.
Number 8 is, what is your relationship with social media and do you think it affects your well-being?
Oh, my relationship with social media is great now. We're slaying. We take breaks when we need them. And honestly, oh my gosh, I love this little puppy down here. I'm sorry, I just got so distracted. Hello, little noodle. I feel like it affects my well-being by giving me a place that I can be myself and a place that I can be self-expressive. It almost fills that pillar for me of my creative in the day. It gives me the chance to make my video and share that part of myself, or maybe be emotionally vulnerable and share like that little bit of what's happening in my life. Even though it's just like one pillar of like what my whole day would be or what my whole wellness needs.
Yeah.
It satisfies a lot for me, and it's nice to be able to have like somewhere that I can kind of keepsake all of those memories and all those moments.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Your outlook is fantastic.
Thank you.
We all need a little bit more of that. Okay, number 9. What is your favorite form of self-care?
Oh. Okay, there's like the bougie option and the normal option. I feel like that's how it is in LA.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's hear them both.
She's a Michigan gal at heart, but she's got just like a little splash of LA in her. Okay, normally piping hot shower. Just like a good shower. You can't tell me like a long day and then a hot shower aren't like coinciding with pure happiness.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love a hot shower.
Yeah, I get it.
That's like my fast fix. If I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a self-care moment.
Do you do like the scents in the shower? Or is it just like strictly shower?
Okay, funny you ask. I just got these sprays from Parachute, and I think it's like OC and Parachute Osea did a collab with Parachute.
Yes.
And I spritz these little like
is it the
essential oils.
Why do we not have these?
You need them immediately.
We love Osea and we love Parachute. Why do we not have these?
They have the best bedding. If you've never laid on their bed, you've never lived.
We have the bedding. Yes.
I don't even like pink. I bought the pink ones. It's all that was left. You know what I mean? Like I had to. It was so soft.
Yes.
Love. But they have like one that's called like the Energizer and the Calmer. And so like in the morning, a little orange citrus moment, and then at night it's a little like lavender eucalyptus moment.
In the shower?
You like turn on the water and you spritz it into the steam, and then it like invigorates it.
Tay, we need yesterday.
He's offended. Yeah.
We need to get this yesterday.
It's so good.
Aye, Captain.
Okay.
But yeah, that's like my normal. Otherwise, I like love a yoga moment. That's like my bougie thing. Is like I'm not a yoga girly. I have the least flexibility of anybody I know. But like, put me in that room and I suddenly become like, yes, master. I'm so good at yoga. Like if I get in the right mentality, I'm not really. I'm lying.
Do you do hot yoga?
for some reason the room is always hot. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but like
It's like leftover.
where I go, it's like always warm. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I think it helps with the stretchiness. In my brain, I'm flawless at yoga. And I think that that's what the point of yoga is. Is like you're not supposed to actually know how you look.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like just mentally believe that you're flawless.
Yeah.
my
That's why
gosh.
I like yoga, because like you can just like, even just like you being there is like, which I think is truth. Like you going and being there, and because sometimes it just gets so hot and then I get lightheaded, so I'm just like in child's pose half the time. And they're like, "You came today, like that's all that matters. You took the
They're
step."
like a major
I'm like,
slay.
"Yes, I am in my child's pose for 30 minutes."
No, literally. And that's the thing is like I'm not good. I've never liked yoga until the last like 6 months. But it makes you feel good, and it's like a little bit. It's like the mental and the physical in that
For
way
sure.
too.
Yeah.
It's the balance of the well-being.
Yes.
So have you done a sound bath?
The way I heard about this, listen, I heard about this at a spa recently, and they said that it's the most euphoric experience. Have you done it?
Yes.
My nonprofit, we just had one like a month ago.
Yeah. We'll throw another one.
Okay.
And
My favorite little hot yoga studio out here does sound baths. And side note, we need to look and see if they have one on Sunday.
Great.
We've been out of town and we haven't been able to go.
Okay,
But-
thanks for the invite. I'll be there too. No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
great.
Perfect.
Come join. Bring
Sunday
crew.
evening.
Double date.
Double date it.
But they're like the most beautiful things. I didn't think Taylor was gonna like it because he doesn't sit still.
No, me either.
And we finished it, and he was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Wow."
It's like better than a nap.
It's like laying in
It's-
space, is what I've heard. Like it's the same temperature in the room and in the water, and then you're just like levitating.
You're there. It's lovely. It's so lovely.
I heard it's equivalent to like 6 times the amount of time you're in there of REM sleep, which is like what gives you a recharge is your REM sleep period. I have like an Aura
Yes.
ring. I live for these things.
Oh.
And like so
I want one of those so
I
bad.
track like my REM sleep and like when I go to bed and when I wake up, what's my deep sleep, my light sleep, all that stuff. And I'm horrible at getting REM sleep, apparently. I don't know how I fix that really, but
Interesting.
I don't know.
my ring tells me I'm horrible at it.
My
So
ring tells me I'm horrible.
there's the thing though that like that's supposed to be like 6 times the amount of REM sleep is
Oh,
being in
wow.
this, but I've never done it and I want to.
Oh,
It's
wow.
on the bucket list.
We got to do that.
Okay,
love
I'm
that.
in. I'm in.
Number 10 is who has had the most positive impact on your mental health?
My mama.
Mm.
It's funny. I like low key. I was telling her, I was like, Mom, it's gonna be such a good interview. I'm gonna tell them about you. And she would literally cried in the car. And I was like, okay, never mind. You're not coming. I was like, you can't be here. I was like, because if you cry, I'll cry. And then the interview's gonna be
Aw.
horrible. But
Dang.
no, you would have loved her. You would have loved her.
Okay,
But she
well,
was cute.
We're gonna have you back, and Mama's coming next time.
I know. She's such a little angel.
Aw.
But yeah, my mom is definitely like the person, like I think like relationships with parents as kids develop so differently. It's like such a
Yeah.
weird, complex thing that I did my undergrad in Michigan and my parents had already moved to California when I graduated. Like I graduated high school, they moved. And so then I spent those 4 years nowhere near my parents.
Yeah.
And then I moved to LA for grad school and I was like in LA, but they are outside of LA a bit. So like
Yeah.
too far that we were really seeing each other regularly. COVID hit and I moved back home and holy growth period. But like out of it came the most like nourished relationship with my parents. I like
Yeah.
finally got like those 5 years back, it felt like, that I
Wow.
didn't have.
Mm.
And it's the best. Now my mom's my best friend. So
Aw, that's amazing.
I love it. Yeah,
That's
she's the
so
best.
awesome.
I love that. Okay, last but not least, number 11.
I'm ready.
If you could go back to one moment in your life, what moment would that be, and what would you say to yourself?
I feel like I would go back to this was like a huge fork in the road moment for me in like my career and in my life where I was deciding on going back to school pretty much. Like I had already got I was 3 months out from graduating with my engineering degree and I had a job offer lined up in the engineering space working at like I loved engineering and I was actually not bad at it. Like I 4.0 in my last 2 semesters of engineering and I
Jeez.
love school, like die hard for school. But I landed a job at my dream company, a Fortune 500 company, like a great career, a good paycheck. Like I knew I was going to do that. And a little part of me was like, oh, but I don't know if I want to do this for the next 50 years.
Wow.
Like, what do I do? And I applied to grad school and I can like remember sitting in this room with a bunch of people around me who I thought would be in my life forever and opening up my letter from LMU where I went for my master's and getting my acceptance to it. And just like in that moment, I was like, am I moving to LA and going back to school? Like it was a course change for my whole career. And it turns out
Wow.
like none of the people who were in that room are in my life anymore. And in the moment, they were not really that excited for me either when I had gotten this thing because it kind of meant that I was like going away. And I was like, I was doing other things than what I had even talked about doing for the last 10 years. Like, you know, I thought I was going to have that life of like, I thought I was going to settle down in Michigan and like, you know, get my little house and have my job. And like, you know, I loved that life for myself, but a little part of me knew that I like wanted to do something else. I like just wish I could hug her, you know, like, and just tell her that like, you're doing something. It might feel like selfish in that moment, but choosing to come out to LA to get my master's was like such a changing point for me as an individual. And like, it led to a growth that like, not only career wise and like, so like if I never moved to LA, I don't think I ever would have ended up being on TikTok or downloading the app or doing anything like what I do now.
Yeah.
And there was so much fear because there was so much risk in that moment of like, you're abandoning everything that I knew and everything that I thought I wanted. And like, I just spent the last 4 years of college cultivating like, this is my life that I'm going to live. And I thought I knew it. And then I kind of like ditched it and decided to like pack up and move to a city I'd literally been 3 times and go back to school in a degree that's artistic that has no stability. Like I would hear stories, people in the film industry who are like, oh, I live paycheck to paycheck and job to job. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm too stressed for that. Like I'm not like that. I'm somebody who loves like consistency and stability and like knowing I'm going to my 9 to 5, or at least I thought I was. Turns out that is not my cup of tea. I love being like antsy and all over the place and just like
living life on the edge.
I love living on the edge. I thought I didn't. No, I love it. It's great. 10 out of 10 would recommend Life on the Edge. But you know, there's like moments I think back to that, like to that day where I was in that version of me was so heartbroken that like I was like telling my friends like, you guys, I got in, and they're like, cool, so you're leaving. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're not as excited as I am, but like looking back, I just wish I could like tell her like, do it. Like it's a little bit selfish, it's a little bit different than what you think, but like you can always go backwards. You like, you know, you can never take the chance again, but you can always be like, you know what, LA wasn't for me, I'm going back to Michigan. You know, that degree never goes away. That like the contacts you have never go away. You know, you're the same person you've always been. Like, you can always backtrack, but you'll never get the chance to take those risks. And it's always worth the risk.
Very true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chase your dreams, people.
Chase your dreams.
Don't put yourself in a box. You can be more than one thing.
Yeah.
Just don't
you can have a lot of passions, have a lot of niches.
Yeah.
Or no niches.
Or no niches at all.
Or no niches. Be whatever you want.
Exactly.
You be you. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You guys.
This episode was so fun.
It was such a joy.
So much good advice. And that was lovely. And thanks for our Starbies.
Oh my gosh, anytime.
Thank you.
If you guys ever need it, hand delivery. I'll bring it to get a pet with the dogs any day of the week. So
Deal.
Perfect.
Deal.
Done.
We're playing tug of war immediately after this. Thank
Bye,
you
everyone.
so much. Yeah, bye.
That was great.
Amazing.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Remember to subscribe, give this video a little thumbs up, maybe give us a little 5-star review, something. Also, if
5.
you
5, you're asking for a lot.
It was a great episode.
You're right, it was.
It was a
Give
great episode.
Anna a 5.
Yeah, come on. Anna deserves it.
Yeah.
She deserves a 5-star. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, of course, be sure to follow The Squeeze on Instagram. You can, of course, follow us. We have Lemons by Tay on Instagram as well for additional resources, tips. And be sure to send us an email at lautner.thesqueezepodcast@gmail.com for any guests you want to see, anything that resonated with you with this episode, any and all stories, things you want to share. We've been receiving a lot, and you know, we love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I love hearing what
we do. We get a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Got a lot of great recommendations, and we can't do this without you guys.
Yeah. I love that. Should I find another good quote for this episode?
Oh no. Here we go.
Actually, no, I'm gonna full circle moment this.
Okay.
And go back to what I talked about in the intro about Anna's video.
Okay.
It's okay to feel. That's what I'm gonna say.
It is okay to feel.
It's okay to feel all your emotions.
However you're feeling, whatever you're feeling, whenever you're feeling it. Feel it.
Feel it.
Feelings are good.
Love it.
All right. We love you guys. Have a good rest of your week. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Woo!
Toodles.
podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation.